What happened when your company tried to control your vacation days? I always knew I had built up more vacation hours than usual, but I didn't fully grasp how high the number had gotten until HR emailed me. They reminded me that because of national labor laws, many of my unused hours would expire on July 1st. Normally, this wouldn't be a big deal. Every year, if I hadn't used all my days, I could simply convert the remaining hours into extra salary. It was easy, it was efficient, and everyone was happy. But the last few years weren't normal. Travel wasn't happening. Hotels were closed, flights were unpredictable, plans changed constantly, and even local activities were limited. I love traveling, but there wasn't much point in taking vacation days, only to sit at home doing the same things I was doing every weekend. Working from home gave me structure, and honestly, it was calmer than the office ever was. So instead of using my vacation days, I kept accumulating them and accumulating them and accumulating them. By the time HR reached out, I had 390 unused hours, and that didn't include the fresh 32 days from the current year. In total, I was sitting on almost 10 weeks of paid holiday. Of those, I had to use roughly 200 hours, about 5 weeks, before they expired. Technically possible, sure, but not exactly ideal for me, my employer, or the major client I supported. Still, since I had always been able to convert unused days into money, I wasn't too worried. I sent the request the same way I had done before. This time, HR said I needed to talk to my manager. My manager said he would ask the CEO. Then the CEO sent a long message about how important it was to take real time off for mental health and work-life balance. I completely understand the principle. I even agree with it. People in some countries barely get vacation at all, and some cultures treat taking time off like a weakness. I'm grateful to live in a place where rest is valued and protected by law. But my situation wasn't the result of poor habits or unhealthy work culture. It was a result of global circumstances. I had already planned a 2-week trip to Sicily and Greece, and I had a long weekend in Iceland scheduled as well. But even after those, I would still have 3 full weeks to use before July. Taking that much time off all at once wasn't practical for anyone involved, and yet the company insisted, no payout this time, just take the days. So I booked a meeting with my line manager and the account manager responsible for the client I worked with daily. If I was suddenly expected to reduce my availability for months, we needed a plan. As a senior DevOps and cloud engineer, a large part of their infrastructure runs through me. A 2-week vacation is normal. Losing 20% of my capacity for months is a different conversation entirely. I expected questions, concerns, maybe even pushback. Going into the meeting, I mentally prepared explanations. How many hours I had, which hours would expire, how many Fridays I would need off to use them all, and how this would affect billing and project timelines. I even imagined a bit of awkward silence while they tried to figure out how to present the situation to the client without making it sound like a staffing problem. The moment the meeting began, everything shifted. Instead of asking why my request had been denied or how the reduced hours would impact deadlines, the account manager simply asked, how many of these hours are from previous years? We checked the system together. Then he looked up and said, almost casually, let's just pay out all the old ones. Just like that. No hesitation, no discussion, no complicated justification. He didn't even question why my previous request was refused. He just decided to clear the entire backlog, 10 full weeks of vacation hours from 2022 and earlier. I walked into the meeting expecting a long, detailed conversation. I walked out with the entire problem solved in less than 5 minutes. A few days later, the payout arrived. 2.5 months of extra salary in one go. And because they only paid out the older hours, I still had all 32 vacation days from the current year left untouched. More than enough for travel, long weekends, and any last-minute plans I might want to make. My schedule stayed normal. The client kept full support. My employer avoided billing issues. And for the first time in years, my vacation balance was manageable again. The entire situation went from a frustrating back and forth to the easiest resolution imaginable. All because the right person finally looked at the numbers and made a practical decision.